Good morning, y'all. This is the second time I've done this damn video. I had shit and crust all over my face earlier. Excuse me, y'all. I just woke up and I was like, you know what? I cannot go on camera with creases and, crust and shit. So you could tell I had a good sleep. So I had to put a little Johnson & Johnson baby oil on my face. But anyway, this video is going to be real short and sweet and to the point. But today is September 12th and Monday, and I'm going back to work. I had the weekend off. So I have to tell you, I've had a long, eventful weekend. Okay? So before I get into what really transpired this weekend, I want you guys to comment. I hope this video doesn't turn off. But if it does, hopefully you've got the meat and the potatoes of what I'm saying, of what happened, okay? And like I said, this is the second time I've done this video. So I hope I don't have to do it again, okay? So let me get into the whole situation, because I don't want to go and do this video again, okay? But I'm going to look in the camera, and I'm going to try to look in the mirror so I won't look a hot mess, because I literally just got out of bed. Okay, on to the story. Go Titans, even though they lost yesterday, it's all good, whatever. But, okay, here we go. How can I start this off? Okay, I have an outfit of the day video that I'm going to put on here too for Friday, because I went out Friday, and it was my sister's birthday party, so we went to this happy hour joint. So it was cool. I get to the happy hour joint, and, me and my girl, one of my good friends, we ended up getting there first. So we kind of work in the crowd. They had 2-for-1 drinks, so we drinking it up. I know that goes against all my eating habits, but I can't give that up yet, So we had 2-for-1s or whatever. We chilling. We found a table, so we kind of post up there. So we kind of just talking and, shooting the shit with people that come by. So this guy came up, and I had saw him earlier, but he was, mixing and mingling, and I like to do eye contact. I don't know why. But finally he came up and started talking to us or whatever. So we ended up talking or whatever, passing, exchanging numbers. And we talked for at least about an hour. Like about just a whole bunch of shit, right? So, we're like, we'll hang out this weekend or whatever. Because I was off this weekend. So I'm like, this is the perfect time to hang out. So, the next day, which was Saturday, my sister had called me up. She's like, hey, let's go to the fair. Because the fair is this weekend. And she's like, I got somebody that I want you to meet. So she's trying to hook me up on a blind date, right? I went down there but didn't stay long because it wasn't my... I mean, it was okay, but that's a whole different video. So I get a call from my boy, and he's like, hey, what you doing? I'm like, nothing. Well, do you want to, get up, whatever, hang out, get something to eat, watch a movie, something? I'm like, all right, cool. So he's like, I'm going to send you my address, and we could go get some stuff or whatever. So I'm like, alright. So I get dressed or whatever. I text my homegirl, and I'm like, hey, this is the address. This is where I'm going. This is who I'm going to be with. So if you don't hear from me when I get there, and an hour later after I'm there, then you know what to do. That's just how we roll, right? So I give her the information. She like, cool. Alright. So I get over there, and very nice place. Very, very nice place. So he's like, well, what you want to do? I was like, it doesn't matter. Let's just get something to eat, whatever. So he's like, no, I'm gonna cook for you. We're gonna cook together. Let's cook some food. I was like, all right. So we rode to Kroger, got some stuff, went to the liquor store, got some stuff, and picked up some movies, which was cool. I'm like, that's laid back, that's chill, that's fine. So we cooked the food, drank some wine, laugh and joke and listen to music, just having a good time. Watching the movie. So around 12 o'clock, his roommate comes in. He's like, hey, this is my roommate, whoop, how y'all doing, blah, blah. So we all laughing, joking, and talking about shit. It was going cool. It's still recording. Yeah. It was going cool. So maybe like 15 minutes later, like the couch is here, the TV's there, but like if you look around the corner, you could see the hallway. And the hallway was dark, and it's a door. So the front door, when it opens, you're going to see the light, from outside. Or just you'll see a shadow, basically. So I see a shadow coming in, and I hear somebody walking. So, I'm thinking maybe it's like roommate's friend or whatever. Maybe they got another friend coming over. I don't know. So as the person gets closer, you can see the shadow. It's the female. So she stands like at the end of the counter, like from the living room, and she's like, instantly she's like, who is that bitch? So I'm looking around like, who is she? You know, like, like where is she? Where'd she go? Because I don't know who she's talking about. So instantly he's like, what the fuck are you doing here? So, you know, I'm like, oh shit. Oh my gosh. What the hell did I get myself into? Needless to say, I always carry my knife in my purse. So my purse is right here, and I'm looking like, do I need, you know, what's about to pop off? But I'm cool. I'm chill. So I sit there to continue to watch TV. So she's like, nah, who is that bitch? So he gets up and he's like, man, what are you doing here? How did you get in, and what the hell do you want? She was like, I want to come and get my DVD. So he was like, alright, let's go get your DVD so you can get, you know, so you can go ahead and go. So she walks in the bedroom, and the door was open so I could hear their conversation. She's like, no, who is that? She's not even bad. She ain't even a bad bitch. And I'm taking myself like, who says that? Like, what grown woman says that to somebody? Is that, and I'm thinking to myself, I know I am. So that whole, you know, I don't know if that's insecurity or what, but I'm like, are you 12 or 25? Like, she looks like she's like 12. She's acting like she's 12, but I guess he's later on, I come to find out she's like 25, so she's a kid. Which is, you know, basically, I let that shit go. I'm saying she was mad. Apparently, she had been calling him and he hadn't returned her calls. So he gives her the DVD and he's like, alright, let's go. So she's like, nah, I need to know who that is, blah, blah. That's the third time she called me a bitch again. Who is that bitch? So I'm sitting on the couch like, wow. So I came to the conclusion, I was like, you know what? I said, it's better for me to leave. So, you know, I told him, I was like, look, I'm getting ready to roll out. I said, he's like, no. I said, no. You and her have some unresolved issues that you need to take care of. I said, so we'll just, you know, we'll talk later, but I'm getting ready to go. So I get up, I get my purse, and I always leave my shoes, is it still recording? Yeah, at the door. At the door, because it's common courtesy to me. Some people don't like people tracking their shoes inside the house. So I leave my shoes by the door. So I get up, and the girl's standing, and I have to walk past her. So she's like, who are you? And I said, I'm just a friend. I said, I just met him, you know, yesterday or whatever. We just hung out. Nothing else, you know. I said, y'all need to talk about whatever y'all got going on. And she's like, nah, we don't need to talk about shit. Who are you? Bitch, blah, blah, blah. I think it was like third or fourth time she called me bitch. So I said, you know what? You don't know me. I said, I don't know you, so I'm not going to disrespect you. I said, your issues with him. It's obviously something that you guys got going on that you need to talk about. I said, but you have one more time to disrespect me, and it's not going to be a good thing. I said, so really the best thing for you to do is talk to him and leave me out of it. Oh my gosh, growth. I'm telling you, growth, because 5-6 years ago, I would have been in on her. But I had to think about it. I got a job. You know, I have so many things that I could lose if I would just went off on her. You know, like if I really just would have clicked, it wouldn't have been a good thing. So I know in my heart that I've grown into like a woman, like a for real on my grown woman shit, because it would have been on. So, you know, he tells her, leave. She's not going, you're leaving. So she goes to the door, and my shoes are by the door, and she kicks my shoes and walks out the door. And, you know, he slams the door. So I'm thinking to myself, are you fucking kidding me? She didn't kick my shoes, my nice shoes now. But, you know, I let it be what it is. She's upset and mad, you know. So, whatever. So, you know, he's like, no, please don't leave. You know, I didn't tell you about her because she doesn't even exist to me. You know, he's like, we were messing around or whatever. And she's bitter because I told her we can't deal with each other anymore because she's a kid. She acts like a kid. That's how she acts. So that's why I didn't tell you about her. I said, you know what, I really don't care. I said, we just now meeting, so it's not like you my dude or whatever. We just hanging out. So whatever you got going on, that's cool. But don't put me in that type of situation. You know, I don't want to feel like I don't know what's going to happen. That's my whole point. So enlighten me on, even if you say I got this chick that I done dealt with or I'm dealing with, she kind of, you know, whatever, we on downs. Just give me the heads up so then I'll know to keep my guard up, you know, which I always do. Anyway. So, you know, after that little mishap, we finally talked about it. It was cool, chill, finished watching the movie, whatever. But my thing is this. Women, why do we, not we, because I don't do that anymore, but why do some women take it or feel like they have to go and deal with the woman? You know what I'm saying? She never disrespected him once. She never went off on him once. She didn't call him no kind of names. She was chill with him. But her issue was with me, and I've already told her that I didn't know anything